Oh, yeah, well. Microphone didn't work. Welcome to the ABL. Maybe there is a little surprise here tonight in the draft. It's qualifying, then 2 races. The absolute beginners league, the Formula Neagle. Somebody was spinning and that was Christopher Giros, so yeah, let's get my money back already. So maybe in the draft there is some opportunities to beat Marcus Bielefeld, and there is Nigel Spears. So let's see if he can do something about the mostly fastest man, Marcus Bielefeld. Of course, Neil Bamber is with us with his iconic livery. Intercoms. There he goes. Iconic Silverstone here tonight. So everything I said the first 5 minutes was not captured, but we are good to go to have a little bit of racing with 10 cars on the grids. Tonight in English, normally only cast in German. On Mondays in the Skippy Cup in this 30th season. On Wednesday in our new M2 Cup. And on Thursdays in the F4 Cup. And I'm happy to be invited to make the stream happen for the ABL, the Absolute Beginners League, the Formula Neagle. If you want to be part of it, join the Discord and you can race bi-weekly F4s and M2s back to back. It seems this time the draft isn't helping. So the draft is not a good thing here for Neil Bamber. Seems to be kept behind a little bit slower. Is it James Holliday? A very nice livery here. The American flag. At Bielefeld, of course, in the lead in the qualifying session. There's still 10 minutes to go. And his current lap looks fast at the moment, and faster than his last one. So it's looking quite good for him, quite comfy with 3/10 in front of Neil Bamber. Of course, 3/10 aren't much in case of the race with the slipstream. And P3 and P4 are also closing in with 2/10 behind Bamber. So maybe they can also improve. First Bielefeld improving and staying on top. There's Stefan Melis now in P6. Oh no, now down to P7 because this man, Christopher Giros, after his opening spin, is now back on track in P5. Neagle over the line, stays in P8. Gregor Shetala without a time, catching some off tracks in the S's. And Frederick Neptune also without a time at this point of the qualifying, which is halfway done. On the 15 minutes, 7 minutes and 30 seconds are left. Gregos over the line, still no lap, so he has to push now. Get a good lap in. Wojtek Patrocek in P3. Through the S's in the iconic livery. Down the back straight. Wojtek in P1, yeah. So the cookie crumbles. Half a tenth in front of Biefeld. So I thought that would be maybe a surprise, but at the moment it's Wojtek and not Gyros. Gyros now up to P4. And Lucas Peterson just joined in, so we got 11 cars. What happened there? Wojtek spinning. Let's have a look. Or into cups. Slight oversteering moment. Let's push again. But he's of course not damaged. With 4 minutes to go, there is no use to get some new rubber, but 201.565 is the new pole position by Markus Biefeld. There he is. So he's back on track. Pole like he wants to have a good clean race start from the beginning. So just 3 minutes, so maybe one more lap after this. Could be much more. Here's Ludwig in P5. Otala and Neptune still without a time, and Lucas Peterson just exiting the pits. Coming late to the party. Biefeld improves again to 2.1358, so scrubbing 2/10 off. Who's entering the pits there? Oh, Gregors is spinning. And yeah, walks, porting his car back to the pits. So that's it for his qualifying run. Not really on a flyer, but maybe at least a time on board. Still no time. Maybe one more chance. It will be very, very close. 0.008 of a second. That's close. Ludwig Sauer behind the fire truck and Christopher Giros. 2:02.085 and 2:02.077. That's the time. Those two drivers. Behind Neagle, maybe catching some draft, and he's just under 1/10 behind Neagle in his qualifying time. Does he improve? No, he stays in P4. So Giros in P4, Neil Bamber in P3. That's the order for this race. And here we are at beautiful Silverstone with this race of the ABL. Remember, if you want to be part of the ABL, the Absolute Beginners League, just join the Discord, join the league in iRacing. It's the league ID 1056, and you're good to go to race on this grid. Everyone trying to grid, of course. Biefeld on pole, Wojtek on P2, Neil Bamber in P3, Christopher Giros in P4, Ludwig Sauer in P5, Stefan Melis in P6, James Molyneux in P7, Nigel Spears in P8, Frederick Neptune in P9, P10, Gregor Schottala and Lukas Petersen, because he joined last, late to the party, as I said, will also start in the last place. Couldn't get a lap time in like Frederick and Gregos. So let's have a look at the race start.
Green flag, green flag.
There they go. Trouble at the start in the back for Molyneux. Looks like a clean start for everyone. Oh no, it wasn't Molyneux, it was it? Stefan Melis. That's the white car here. Let's take a look back on the leader. leading Wojtek and Neil. And Christopher. Christopher already in P3. Maybe good for him to catch some draft there. Oh, and it's Melis with a slight spin. Let's have a look. Oh yeah, overshooting the corner. Taking the car for half a spin and rejoins the race. Everything goes smooth through Cox, I think. Yep. And now into the S's. Board with Ludwig Sauer. Of course, having a good chance to catch some draft. Like Christopher is doing. In P3. Losing some momentum here on the exit. But still has the draft. Behind them there's a nice four-way battle between Bamber, Sauer, Molyneux and Neptune. Oh, Neptune goes a little bit wide. Tries to brake on the inside, and that's already close again. Two cars next to each other, Bamber and Sauer. Neptune on the rear of Molyneux, who's not out of the race, but he is damaged on the front wing. Maybe even got a meatball. Yeah. I think there is nothing Molyneux could have done to prevent that, so it's basically on the one seeing his rear for the corner. Who did we ride on? Wojtek still 5/10 behind. Markus Biefeld and Kiros also in the draft. So if Wojtek isn't losing the draft of Markus, there could be a possibility to change things around. Yet still, it's a hard way to do so. Wojtek, fastest lap, 1:2.155. And now again 2/10 behind the leader, closing in. Sun is coming out a little bit, so the liveries shine a little bit better in the British sunlight. Some stones are on the track. Here's a tighter battle. It's between Lucas Petersen and Nigel Spears. Spears on the outside. Yet Lucas is making it clear to catch this position. But of course, if Nigel can keep up, they can counter it on the end of the straight. Closing in, but not enough in the slipstream to make something out of it. And there's Gregor Schottala running in P8. Got a good gap from Melis. He's 4.5 seconds behind, and after the crash, of course, Neptune is 10 seconds behind, and James Molyneux is just entering the back straight. But what is with Bamber? Bamber behind Sauer. Trying to get his position back. Started in P3, now P5. After the S's, you can stay close. But losing here in the dirty air. So close that he could do anything. Wojtek is still right behind Marcus, but yeah, Marcus is extending his lead again and again to 0.5, 0.6 seconds. And Wojtek is closing it again to 3/10. And so it's a cat and mouse game. Of course, one mistake by Marcus Liefeld could be enough. And we got Neptune. Where's Melis? There he is. Let's have a look. What happened there? As you can guess, there must have happened something here in the last chicane. Yeah, big spin. And Neptune goes through, getting the 9th position. And there's Neil back behind Ludwig. But it's also 0.6, closing to 0.5. Yes. And that could be a better distance. Get through the S's and have a run on the back straight. If he's too close, dirty air will catch him here. 0.5, and now on the throttle, taking some risk here. 0.3, 0.2, and he has to go around the outside now. He's not squeezing Ludwig there, but he's still, yeah, he's alongside for the last chicane. Still Ludwig is holding the inside line. He's not giving up here. He's still there side by side. And now it's Neil Bamber in P4. But for how long this will be the case? At the front, gap is now 1 second between Marcus and Wojtek, so I think he he will lose the draft soon. We're now in lap 6 of 10, so 5 laps to go. That will be another opportunity. Stays behind. There's some trouble there, mid-corner at the apex. Get at the front now up to 1.3, so no need to look there at the moment. Just watching this battle here for P4. You could see the trouble in the slipstream, in the dirty air, through the S's. Vic didn't manage it very good, but maybe not good enough to get a good run here. Again, mid-corner, there's trouble in the dirty air. So having a good distance at the right moment might be crucial in the F4. A little bit different than in the Super Formula Lights, where it works a little bit better, I think, personally. And stay a little bit closer and not have that dirty air effect too much. But here he comes. Of course, if there is no car right in front of you, you're not having dirty air, but that was a little bit too much. And he's now, staying in P5, and Neil Bamber did escape his grasps for the moment. So everything settled a little bit. Grzegorz may be catching up to Nigel Spears by 0.2 a lap. But it's a wibbly-wobbly thing on the timing boards. Can go faster, but then the last lap he was again 0.2 slower, so we need to see. Marco's leading the pack, 1.7 seconds in front of Wojtek, so that gap will rise to, I think, 3 seconds at the end of the race, unless, of course, he doesn't make any mistake. You know, if you're in the car, 1.7 seconds doesn't seem too much. Grzegorz now back to a gap of 1.7 seconds, 1.5. Back to 1.7. I thought he maybe found something here, which he can convert to chasing down Nigel Spears. Now already up to 2 seconds again the gap. Yeah, it is what it is. Oh, now it's 1.3 again, so there is still a chance he catches him. 1.2. So they both have their own mistakes. Ludwig is again back to 1.6 behind Neil. Oh, another mistake by Nigel. I think if Grzegorz just focuses on every corner exit, there is a good opportunity to catch P7 and have a nice fight in the last 3 laps. That was an off track, but nothing too much to worry about. Now we got a good gap of 0.7. Slows down a little bit too much there. But that looks like a good run. 0.6, 0.5, 0.4. So he is on the back of Nigel Spears. Oh. And now both making a little mistake. Nigel locking up the inside. And again, if Gregos would feel a little bit more comfy, that would already be sealed and done. I also don't know why Nigel is braking for the corner in the middle of the track. Nigel, you paid for the whole track, use it. Case, there was no good exit possible for Gregos. Maybe sometimes he also doesn't trust himself there to make it happen. So maybe there would be some coaching. He would be quite faster after a little while in the F4. So we are staying with them with 2 laps to go. Let's see if it is Nigel or Gregos who takes P7. The rest is basically set in stone. Maybe Ludwig is getting closer to Neil, putting some pressure on him. Here it is very important now for Gregos. And it's Frederik Neptune closing in on these 2. So here he comes. 0.2. 0.1. That's not a good attack line. So it takes him out of the track. Now he dives for the inside, but still he doesn't do it in last consequence. And so there's Frederik, and Frederik is too shy to catch a position. And on the final lap it could be 2. For the outside, inside, on the throttle, a little bit too much there. Needed to correct that. But of course, he wanted to have a first run on the first car, these 2, right here. Won't happen. And now he has to be careful, but because if they make a mistake in the corner, he has to be aware not to spin again. Now the throttle down to the inside. Oh, Gregos knows he's there. Takes the inside line, but holds the inside, not understeering like some 7-time world champion for some reason. And Frederik is in P8, so it's where is he? Nigel now under threat on the back straight. While Markus Biefeld wins the race, Wojtek in P2, Gyros will take P3 now, and now back to the battle. Yeah, outside, inside. Here he goes to positions on the final lap for Frederick, while Nigel is now in P8 and Gregor had a little moment there, but will take P9. So Ludwig, Neil in P4, Ludwig in P5, Lukas in P6, P7, Frederick as we have seen, Nigel in P8, Gregor in P9, P10 for James. He also did recover at least one position, finishing up in P10 in front of Stefan Melis. That's the first race. So we have a little break of 3 minutes and then we are back with some more Silverstone here in the ABL, the Absolute Beginners League. See you in 1 minute. So we are back on track after the 3-minute cooldown or warm-up, how do you want to see it, between the two races, and we are now back at Silverstone with the second race of tonight's run of the ABL. So next week, next Sunday, it will be the M2 Cup again. So the Andy Morgan Cup in the M2. Tonight it's the Formula Neagle, so bi-weekly you have the chance to drive in the ABL for free and fill up the grid. So join the Discord, join the league ID 1056. And here we go. The gridding is running. Let's hop onto the grid fast and let's be fast on track with some reverse grid action. James Molyneux in P1, Hotterline P2, Nigel Spears in P3, Frederick Neptune in P4, Lucas Peterson in P5. So it's the whole top 10 inverted. Sauer in P6, Neil Bamber in P7, Giros in P8, Wojtek Potocek in P9, and Markus Biefeld in P10. I don't understand which grid boxes they are using here, honestly. That's weird. What is that? They're not in their grid boxes. But iRacing says, nope, you go there. iRacing, what are you doing? Let's have a screenshot and send it to him. And here we go.
Green flag, green flag.
Oh! Was it a fast start or too fast start for Nigel Spears? It's way up ahead. Let's hope it was a good one. Otherwise, he will be at the back of the grid. Oh, there's some divey-diveys going on here. And Grzegorz already down to P8. Ludwig has to defend, maybe. Nope. Works good. And here they come. Packed and juicy. Stefan Melis running last at the moment, 4 seconds behind again, and James Molyneux takes the lead again, takes the lead away from Nigel Spears. Gets a good run out of Cox. There's Frederick, still in P8. Frederick! There is a crash going on. Ludwig Sauer got a contact on the rear in the S's. But I think he can continue. Let's have a look. From the chopper. Oh yeah. Maybe squeezed him a little bit there, but as I always say, if you're the car behind, oh, let's have a look, and oh, I think we never will know if Nigel Spears, or maybe he does. Okay, that's wild. Oh, that's very wild. Some more cars diving to the pits. So we basically split the grid here with the crashes. James Molyneux leading in front of Lucas Peters, Christopher Giros in P3. P4 Wojtek Potocek, Markus Biefeld avoided the trouble, is in P5, Neil Bamber right behind. Grzegorz Hitala in P7, Stefan Melis in P8, and then we got Neptune, Ludwig Sauer and Nigel Spears in the pits, and they go out again together. Okay, if Nigel wouldn't have missed his pit box, it seems, and also activated the tire change. So Nigel is out of that, and we still have Ludwig and Frederick battling at the end of the grid. Of course, we will check out the crashes later once more in detail. I think at the moment cars are still a little bit close together, so there's potential for live action. Forward with Christopher Giros. Pressure on Lucas. On the brakes, he takes the position from his teammate. Stefan Melis, oh, has to go to the pits also. That's a shame. And here comes Hotala. So Melis in the pits, Neil Bamber in P6. Losing the gap, the draft to Biefeld, but they are close here, very close. The first four. Peterson in P3, Wojtek Potocek in P4. And Molyneux with the spin, and he couldn't avoid it. Wojtek And it's broken. The car is broken in a half. Still rejoins here. Yeah, but the wheel is off. It's not looking too good here for Wojtek. Don't crash anyone else. Nope. He has it under control, it seems. The tire is off. Just carrying it with him. So Giros in the lead, followed by Peterson. Then it's a nearly 3 second gap to Biefeld. So maybe if they are all three teammates, but if they drop each other together, Peterson and Giros, maybe there is the opportunity we see a different race. Gregos now up to P6. After all doing some carnage, he's now in P6 in the middle of the field. Wojtek still trying to recover his car, taking the scenic route here through the S's, and maybe did decide that call it a day. Where's he going? Well, maybe not. Taking the slowdown here. And I hear some spinning, and it's Peterson. Yeah, it's Peterson. Let's have a look. Lucas Peterson into the final chicane. Yeah, spins on entry. And Biefeld has to go around him, which works, but did cost him a little bit of time at least. It is now back to 2.9 seconds. There's a weird noise on the earphones. I don't know if you could hear it. But it was there, I swear. Wojtek in the pits. Yeah, nice camera. Whatever, Silverstone, and Wojtek is out again of the pits. 14 seconds ahead of Nigel Spears. And Lucas Peterson closing down on Neil Bamber after his spinner. Because Neil had a moment. Let's have a look. Was on the tail of Markus Biefeld. Ah, and here he spins. So maybe the opportunity for Lucas Peterson to get a podium back in this case. So high attrition rate. We'll have a look at the incidents. So of course, we had the start with the very early start by the number 4 car. Yeah, there he is, taking the leads. Then we got Ludwig, who got contacted on his left rear tire, maybe making it a little bit too close. In this occasion, Frederick and having this moment here, took wide in front and collecting Nigel there on the outside. Yeah, that didn't work too good. The rest avoided it at least, even if it was looking a little bit wild. Bump. Yeah, and that's it. Gregos had a little moment, it seems, on lap 2. Is he catching the inside curb? Yep, with the floor over the inside curb. I just saw it at the entry that that could be the case. So might look into the past of the future of Gregos was right. And oh, Ludwig is catching the big sausage curb there. Didn't saw that one. And James with the big spin here. Yeah, applying the throttle there, and yeah, the crash by Wojtek couldn't be avoided in the end, so he was driving with a broken car around the track for a whole lap. Didn't work out for him this race tonight. And then there was Lucas. Was behind Christopher, looking good in the draft, and then the spin. Then we got Neil with his moment, costing him much time, but nothing else at the moment. So could have been worse. Now we got James Molyneux once more with the spin. Basically near his last spin, one corner earlier. And now we are back live in the live pictures. Molyneux in P7. And it's Frederick and Gregos now duking it out. Gregos in P5. 6. Going back and forth here, and now too wide into the S's, but no. Gregos is having none of this, while the fog is coming down on Silverstone. And who else is coming down? It's not the rain on Christopher Giros, it's Markus Biefeld right behind him. With 5 laps to go, and now 4 laps to go. Fastest lap for Biefeld, 2:1:04.47. So yeah, would it be 3 laps last? I would say maybe Christopher can defend it, but there's so many opportunities now for Biefeld to make the overtake happen. But what else is going on? It's Molyneux behind Botala. Also be the next contender for an overtake. And you can see how the weather has changed. Botala totally different apex speed here. Maybe watching already his mirrors. So it was nice for him to be in P5 for a moment. But yeah. While we have these two now close together, Biefeld on the outside, Giros holding P1 at the moment. It is very close. And that's the thing when the opening lap Ludwig did try to go for the perfect line, and there was already Frederick's nose right in there. It's always good to have a good spotter, but sometimes you don't get the call there. Around the outside goes Biefeld, and he can place his car on the inside for the chicane. Here he comes, but leaves room for Giros, and there's no outside-inside switch possible. So they keep going too wide. And keep going too wide, that's what we want to see. Now into the braking zone, Christopher Giros tries it. Biefeld has to avoid him a little bit. There's also the opportunity for Giros to close this again in front of Biefeld, and now it's a tricky one, because of course we have a wider left-hander than a tighter right-hander. If Giros can stay on the outside, he has opportunities again. Of course, he has to trust Biefeld to hold the inside line. Now it's Biefeld who has to be scared. So very, very good stuff. But it seems that, the exit goes to Biefeld, even if there is some gravel. On the outside of that corner. So where's the rain? That's the only thing missing in this race. He stays in the draft, so yeah, maybe there's a surprise move. But not with that. Misbreak by Giros, 1.2 seconds now, 1.3, 1.4. Yeah. So this is set and done. Somebody's entering the pits. It's not. Who is it? It's James Molyneux entering the pits. What is it? Drive through, or does he have damage? I have no new. Oh, I have a new incident on the board. Let's have a look. No, it's not here. It's here. Oh, it's Hotala against Molyneux. Ooh, was just a spin. Don't know why he has to stop. I don't know. And we got Ludwig Sauer in trouble in lap 9. Oh, also a big spin there. Oh, and then he tries to rejoin and Hotala hits him. Let's have a look at his gyro. Is it an unsafe rejoin? So he's on the outside there. Yeah. Well, let's say Gregors got confused there because Ludwig did put his foot back on the throttle and he thought like, yeah, okay, I go behind you if you want to rejoin on the track. Then Ludwig stopped again, and then, yeah, the unfortunate events unfolded as we have seen them. This means that Wojtek is back in P6. Yeah, Frederick was safe in P5. And yeah, so it's the question. It's the final lap. So basically, he has to carry it around. Somehow. And of course, Nigel and yeah, Molyneux, James is catching up. And Gregors, so if he got a meatball, I don't understand why he doesn't drive on, because yeah, the meatball has to be done within 3 laps. And he could have finished it now without going into the pits, and there would be no penalty applied. But of course, and maybe he couldn't have stayed in front. But it is now what it is again. Gregor in P9. I don't know what service he's getting, but he's now back out and 22 seconds in front of Stefan. So yeah, this works out for him to stay in P9 at least. Marcus is in P1 by 2.7 seconds in front of Giros. Then comes Neil 5 seconds behind, so they're in the last few corners. So it's a double win again for Marcus Biefeld in the ABL. Next week it will be the M2, so totally different ball game. There are much more cars on the grid. So hopefully you will be there, yes, you watching, to be part of the ABL. Marcus Biefeld wins in front of Christopher Giros and Neil Bamber. Lucas Peterson will finish up in P4. Great recovery for him. And also Frederic Neptune about the unfortunate events of race 1 and lap 1 here in the second race. At least he can take P5. Wojtek in P6. James Molyneux takes P7. I think he can be very happy about that. With the stuff happened around him, in front of him, and also with his spins. For him, an eventful race goes to a P7 finish, right in front of Nigel Spears in P8 and Gregor Schottala in P9. Ludwig is one lap down, so the last one on this lap is Stefan Melis, who will take P10 now. Ludwig already in the pits, finished and maybe a little bit, and not too happy about the lap 1 incident. So that's it from the ABL. So next week it's M2. Gregor had to go to the pits again. So Melis is in P9. Gregor is in P10. Whatever. Whatever happened there again. I don't know. So next week, next Sunday, M2 on Monday. So tomorrow we have the Skippy Cup here on my channel with the 30th anniversary season. On Wednesday we have the German M2 Cup. And on Thursday, the German F4 Cup right here on this Twitch channel. Have a good night and keep racing.